Welcome to the online talk about the new normal, the impact on psychological well-being.
When I was called for this SEGi, I was very happy because I started off my profession with students. I started off my work in University Utara Malaysia in the international affairs, and then I moved to Stanford College for 1 year, and then I was in University Malaya Student Affairs as a student counselor for 3 years. So the beginning of my career, I've worked very closely with students, and I really enjoy working with students.
Okay, so what is your largest audience that you have encountered so far?
I've had about between 700 to 1,000. And I had a TED talk in TEDx talk in That was a large crowd also. Everybody is speaking about this new normal, and we have to really understand what is it and how is it going to impact us, right? And I like the last word in your question, which is what is changing. So many things is changing, a lot of things is changing. We are now at home, and our routines have changed. Students used to go to class, do the assignments, go to library, go here and there, go shopping malls and stuff, right? But now nothing can be done. We are all in our own between four walls, and socially things are changing. You see, I know previously maybe I would have been invited, I would have walked into the premises to give this talk, but now we are doing it online. So, and the IT is an explosion now. Everybody has to pick up on online and virtual things. So it is like we are pushed into the sea to learn swimming. You got no time to learn and warm up. You just have to dive in and then learn. So if you survive, you'll swim. Otherwise, you'll get sink down. So we can see, it varies from individual to individual. Some people, I think mostly when we started off with the MCO and stuff, generally there was a lot of worry, and then eventually we start to go into doubting. Is it going to over, or is it going to continue? And some people started to have skeptical thoughts. People are like dubious. Is it really happening? Is it really that bad? Are we getting the real data? Stuff like this, and on the other side, you see all these conspiracy theories and all this kind of thing. This is the signs that people are being skeptical. And those who are mentally quite resilient, they'll go into adjusting themselves. They'll say, okay, now this is it, so let's see what we can do. When we are told that classes are online from now, some will go into worrying, how are we going to meet the lecturer, how are we going to ask questions, blah blah, what if I don't know? Some will go into adjusting, okay, so fine, I think it's better, so I can do it from my home. Some are still trying how to cope with this thing, how to adjust. And I think basically those who have already been stable, they're accommodating into it. They know that. So this is what we call they're adjusting to accommodating to the new norm. It's like, okay, fine. So after this, lectures is going to be like this, and we're gonna learn things this way, and they're accommodating. So this is basically where the difference between individual to individual. So some people are still in the worrying situation. Some people are still doubting. Some people are still waiting. When can I go back to classes? When I can go back, walk into my student affairs, all those premises, all the services. And many are still adjusting to what can be done now based on how can we still operate. So back to the question, it definitely affects pretty much everyone, and it definitely affects pretty much in our the way we think, the way we feel, and also the way we behave. So sometimes we are like happy, yay! For those who wanted weekends to be longer, now it's a weekend every day. So sometimes you'll be happy, but at the same time, sometimes you can't go out, you can't do things that you normally want to do. You get frustrated. And those who are studying, you wish that you was at home. Now after 2 or 3 weeks at home, what do you wish? You wish to go to class back again. So sometimes, yeah, it happens. Some people feel I want to connect with my friends, and so it's a mixed up emotions. So these are part and parcel of what is actually happening to individuals.
Does it mean that some people with higher resilience, they will be able to move to the stage of adjusting, trying, and accommodating?
Definitely. When you have very strong mental resilience, that means you are able to face these times of difficult with confidence, with a positivity. So you will move faster to adjusting, trying, and accommodating. But when you're not resilient, you will stay in this curve, worrying, doubting, skeptical. But like I told you, you're pushed in the sea to swim. So you worry, you don't know what is going to happen, but the waves is hitting you, so you have to swim. So basically, those with the stronger resilient will go ahead faster, and the others will eventually go on, but it's just that it'll take a longer time. But if your resilience is really really low, you might sink in. That means you might give up, burn out.
Has the people right now we move on to
On, but it's just that it'll take a longer time. But if your resilience is really really low, you might sink in. That means you might give up, burn out.
drown, yeah.
Yes. I will use two things to explain this situation. One, I like to use a lot of analogies so that people understand. So I hope you guys are okay with that. Huh? So
Sure.
let's look at a new normal in an analogy perspective. Now, say for example, we have been warned that the sun is too hot and you are not allowed to go out from your house. All activities to be stopped. So if you go out, it's going to be dangerous. So what will happen to us? Initially, we'll when we look at the grief cycle, we will start to feel, is it? Are you sure? No, I see it's still okay. It's fine. You start to have denial, and then after that, no, someone forces you, and the law forces you to be at home, and then you will start to have anger. Why? It's just a sun. Why I cannot go out? I'm frustrated. I can't do the things I wanted to do and stuff like that. Then eventually we'll go into accepting that, okay, it is hot and I can't go out. Then what can I do? That you go into the bargaining, and then when you bargain, you don't really get that much of things that you can do. You go into a depression. You feel like whatever I want to do, I can't do. It's so hot outside, I can't change things and stuff like that. But like I said just now, if your mental resilience is strong, you'll start to go into acceptance and you explore new things. So what happens? It's so hot, and eventually I can go a little bit out and then come back in. So I have to accept this as a situation. So I need to do my business. I need to get some money. What can I do? Okay, smart people will start to sell ice cream, cold water. I do a lot of laundry. I'm adjusting to the hot weather. Now our case is not a hot weather, it's the virus. So the new normal is we can't go out. We have to maintain social distance. We have to ensure cleanliness. Now you see people start to give emphasis on cleanliness, wash their hands. We didn't do all this before, despite we were told these are part of things that we need to do. And then the new normal is we no longer go walk into physical classes. We go into online classes, trainings. People are thinking how to deliver all those information and trainings online and virtually. IT businesses is going up. You scroll through your FB, you'll see a lot of products which is useful to be at home is being sold now. Massager, the screen projector, how to make your screen look bigger. Why? Because everyone is watching Netflix, they want a bigger screen. So these are all the signs that people are coping with the new normal. Now the problem is people who stuck at the depression. They stuck at the bargaining. So they don't know how to adapt to the new normal. The new normal is when we go out, we have to wear a mask. People feel very uncomfortable. I see a lot of people complaining, those with glasses, it's so difficult, I cannot do this, I feel suffocated. So these are the issues. People will face issues when they cannot cope with the new normal. So we have to quickly think of a new way how to, because the word says normal. So this is going to be normal. It's just that it is very new. So yeah, I hope even our students will start to look into this, and if at all they feel that they are in the stages of anger or bargaining or depression, the worst is denial. You should not be in denial now. We have to accept that this thing is happening, this is for real, and lives has been changed. So if you're at the depression state and all that, you have to do something to move up, to come up to the acceptance and accept the new normal. Yeah, so you have to we can have relapses where we try to accept, but then it is difficult, so we go back to denial or anger. But it's the progress have to keep moving on, because like the sun, we cannot control the sun, the heat we cannot control. So like it or not, we have to accept the new normal. It's just that the process can be made easier if we are acceptable, we can adjust ourselves without this anger, without this denial. But if we keep circling in the denial and anger, we're going to have a lot of frustration, waste of energy, we're going to get tired, and definitely it's going to impact on our well-being. So that realization, if I want to have my well-being, I have to move up this circle as fast as possible. Yeah.
The reason I raised the question is because people are going back to their family. People tend to spend time with their family, with their spouse, with their parents.
The moment we started with MCO, there's a lot of issues spoken about family interactions. So what we need to understand is there's two sides of this, right? One side is that, this MCO and this new normal has created a platform for them to bond together. The bonding is going to happen. I even mentioned this in a few platforms where there were so many children who were praying that their parents will spend time with them, and all their prayers have been answered because now the parents are at home. So there is a lot of opportunities for bonding, for eating together, for spending the days together. And even I shared some ideas of playing board games, bringing back the old games and stuff, just to enhance the bonding. So on the bright side, it's an opportunity for bonding, and people are really bonding a lot, and a lot of family activities is happening, a lot of family interactions is going on. But we have to look on the flip side. On the flip side is there is also chances where when you are forced to be in the house, and there could be conflicts in relationships where sometimes in families we have people who, this person A and this person B doesn't talk, doesn't interact, but now they are forced to. So all this while they have classes, they have got assignments, they've got work to do. So they will eventually not meet up heads on. So this has been an escapism for them to not let the conflict to grow bigger, or become to elevate into something bigger. So there has been escapism, but now with the MCO, they've got no this escapism, so they are basically trapped at home. So this type of conflicts can happen. So like person A is eating, oh, I don't want to eat now, I'll eat after he eat. And then person A stays longer, and then there's issues in the dinner table. There's a silent stress, or silent what do you call tension going on. There could be rifts, and suddenly these two people say, they speak up, or somebody intervenes, say, how long are you two going to be like this, blah blah blah, and things escalate, words go out, there could be conflicts. And the situation is, you cannot go out, you can't walk out. So the conflict could escalate into something bigger, which unfinished businesses can turn out to be a disaster at this time. So people have to be more careful, right? And the other side is like the one in the picture there. You see, people with domestic abusers at home. We even had information that the calls, domestic violence calls, has been increased, in numbers.
Yes,
So
drastically.
yeah, drastically. So this is a sad news for us, where we see the MCO as a situation where people are trapped. I mean, the victims are trapped at home with the abuser, and anything can happen. So we have to understand that there's a risky situation now, right? So these abusers must really know how to take care of themselves, to get help, and they must also, my personal advice is, they should know the triggers of this abuser. What could trigger this abuser to get physical and hit? So avoid these triggers at this situation, because now it's a lockdown, I mean MCO situation, you can't go out. Help may reach to you quite late, and you must have a backup plan, like a signal call. That means I call this person, I say this word, or I book a shirt, for example, a code word, saying to the other person, and the other person know that this person is in trouble. So this kind of thing has to be well arranged, and be prepared for any situation. So yeah, back to what people say, every situation has goods and bads. So good is bonding, the bad is there are chances of conflicts, there are chances of stress, and the other side, there are chances of abusers getting more prone to abuse because they are locked down, and the abuser itself may go through a lot of stress and tension because they can't go out, so they can channel that frustration on the victim. So yeah, these are part and parcel of the family interaction situation now. you have to understand, women at home, I mean, if they are homemaker, their stress doubles up because now they have to cook more. You know, they have to cook for more people. They have to be in the kitchen longer. They have to think what is the next menu, and they have to do all these cleanings and laundries, all doubled up because before this people go out. Now everybody's at home, so you know people want to eat all the time and stuff. So their stress is also equally increased. So never think that a homemaker housewife is very relaxed, or they just doing housework. No, with the MCO, even their work has been doubled. So maybe
Yeah.
others who work outside, they are no longer working much, but the homemaker is working on double shift now actually. Well, okay. I don't. I prefer to keep it very limited and very simple. We don't have to, times in difficult times. Let's not talk about so many coping skills. I think basically currently the students will need basically these three things. Number one is definitely manage emotion. Emotion management is a crucial key right now, because if you don't know how to manage your emotion right now, things is going to be very difficult. So manage your emotion. There's a lot of materials out there, a lot of things that you can look into in the internet, how to manage emotion. So basically, I would say emotion is just like remote control. you know Imagine you have a remote control for your emotion. So there's happy, sad, angry, disappointed, all these buttons there. So it should be yourself to decide what is going to be your emotion today. So I wake up, I click on happy, I be happy the whole day, right? The problem with people is that whenever I teach people manage emotion management, this is what I tell them. The problem is you make copies of your remote quite a lot and you pass to everyone, to your neighbors, to your siblings, to your cat, to your coffee. So when any one of it presses angry, so you tend to become angry. You see,
Mm.
so you don't let other people control your emotion. For example, MCO. Oh, I'm very angry. Why are you letting MCO control your emotion? Let You can't control the virus. You can't control, like I said, you can't control the sun, but you can control your emotion, right? So choose to be happy. It's okay. All right. I'm inside my room. I am in my house. Okay, what should I do? So I can do whatever I want. I've always wanted this. So let's be happy. Instead of looking out the window, I want to go out, and be angry. So yeah, so you decide what is going to be your emotion. Don't let other people control your emotion. So in that way, you'll be able to cope better. You know, so you won't have a lot of triggers to make you feel frustrated or tensed. Number two is practice positive psychology. This is what I've been telling in almost all my sharings throughout the MCO. Things are bad. It is true, and situation is like we have to be in the house and stuff like that. But then we can always choose to look at the bright side, And now we have to. It's not choose to. We have to. So choose what you're going to read, what you're going to focus on. I like to use this newspaper. I doubt if the students read newspaper nowadays, right? You see everything online, right? But let me just give you a picture of newspaper. All right. In normal times, we can read newspaper as it is. You open up, you read everything. Then when you finish the newspaper, you can make your sound judgment of how is the day, how is the country, how is the situation, right? That is a normal situation. But now during MCO, we are not in our capabilities to make the sound judgments. So what we need to do is we have to select the right news. So if you open now, go back to the newspaper. Imagine you open the newspaper and read all the bad news. Death, rapes, burglary, all this bad news from front to back. After you finish, what do you feel? You'll feel disappointed. You feel life is terrible. You feel fear. What is going to happen to this country and blah 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 blah. Now go back to the newspaper. Say now the third time we open, we read only the good news. How many cured, how many went back, how many what do you call success, and all this kind of all the good news. And then when you finish all the good news, how do you feel now? You'll feel there is still hope. Things are getting better. So now this third method is what we need right now. I'm not saying don't ever pay attention to the bad news. The bad news is maybe true, but now in this situation, we have to mind shift. We have to shift to the positive side, because I've seen a lot of people, they like to share how many deaths today, how many new cases today, but they don't speak about how many discharged, how many cured. So you are actually transferring the panic to people. Whereas now, what we should highlight is how many people cured. When you start to look at that, you will have hopes. Like now the Ministry of Health is giving you the percentage. How many percentage? Now I think we have reached about 60% of recovery. So that's a good news. That's something that we should shout about. So for the students, I mean the young people, you are very savvy over all these things, and maybe you might have elderly people at home who are worrying. Guys, please be an ambassador today to spread the good news. Share all this good news. When your parents are, oh, one more person died, low, so you share. No, 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 no. Today so many people cured, and try to neutralize it. This is positive psychology. So you start to look at the positive side. And number three, no doubt, even you manage your emotion, you practice positive psychology, you will still have some anxiety going on. You will still have some, because young people, you have a lot of energy. You want to do a lot of things. You want to say a lot of things. So now being in MCO, maybe a little bit of, constraints there. So you might have a small amount of stress or anxiety. So make sure you have a proper diversion or proper channeling out. That means you divert to do something else, something that you've always wanted to do. You always wanted to write a letter, never get the time. Write it now. You always wanted to draft out a book, and you never had the time. Do it now. You got all the time. You always wanted to finish this particular game or series. Now is the time. So divert, all right? And if you have stress or you have something to share, something that you feel you want, let it out of your heart. So make sure you got a positive channeling out. Find someone, speak to your counselors. I think Miss Alice is one of your counselors, so speak to the counselors, contact them, speak to your friends, just talk it out. If you feel like you just want to talk, and you just want somebody to listen, WhatsApp first. I'm going to WhatsApp your friend. I'm going to call you, but I don't want you to respond. I just want you to listen. SOS. I want you to, I want to just went out. After that SMS, then you call. That WhatsApp, then you call. So the person will be well prepared. So channel out your frustrations, and get back to your positivity. So basically, that's what I'm trying to say. So positive psychology, look at the flip side of it. Everything has a flip side. MCO, I ask a lot of people, what good thing has happened to you, and everybody like, very hard to find an answer during the MCO. Then when I say what bad things, wow, they can give a long list of bad things. You say this is the tendency of a normal human being. But then now, we have to train ourselves to look at the bright side. So what is good things that happened to you throughout the MCO? Then I started to tell them, aren't you safe? Say, oh yeah, yeah, I'm safe. Aren't you well? Yeah, I'm well. All right. Is your family well? Yes. You got all the time at home? Yes. You can bond with your family? Yes. So there's a lot of good things happening. Why are you failing to see that? So always choose to look at that. And students, definitely you have to spread this. You got that power. So educate those at home, your families, your siblings, your elder people. Tell them, why don't we look at this side? Now we got a lot of time. We can explore new cookings, new recipes. We can watch TV together. So yeah, positive psychology. So coming back to the coping, number one, manage emotion, remote control. Number two, positive psychology, newspaper, read the good news. Number three, make sure you divert or channel out your stress positively. Definitely. This one is a special message and request to students, especially SEGi students. All students, basically, you guys have all this energy and power to do this. So keep doing it. I like all these challenges going on, all this positive, but make sure it's a positive and safe challenges. So keep going. I see a lot of people sharing their picture during their young days. They are sharing a lot of picture with the children. These are all positivity. So the power is with the young people. So definitely do all you can to spread the positivity. Come up with all brilliant ideas. The best is you got certain talents. So now is the time for you to use that talent to spread the positivity. So if you're good at drawing, draw something and post it out, something positive, post it out and challenge other people to do so. And spread all that we need now is that positivity for us to go through these difficult times. So young people, please do your role. You guys have got all the power, the energy, and the network to do so. Keep doing. So cabin fever, yes, it do happens. It do happens. And unfortunately some of our students, they are trapped in campuses and stuff like that. So yeah, first of all, do some reading. You have to understand what is meant as cabin fever and stuff. And managing it, I can share a few things with these students. Number one, you see, we have a tendency that whenever we read symptoms, we feel that we have that symptom. This is a normal tendency with people. So be very clear and specific about this. Are you really having it or not? So if you are having it, then you should worry and take precaution, take steps to manage it. If you are not, then you don't have to worry it until it happens to you. Some people worry until they read the symptoms and worry so much and it happens to them. So be careful on reading these symptoms, and make sure that you do have the right mindset. Okay, in case that you are having this cabin fever, always remember, number one is try to catch some light. You can you It's good to get some fresh air and some sunlight, because you are trapped inside, right? I have been advocating to some people who says this, trapped at home, trapped in the room. I would rather choose to twitch this word a little bit. Instead of using trap, which sounds very negative, let's say you are safe in campus, you are safe in your hostel, you are safe in your room. You are not trapped, but you are safe. So that will give you a little bit of a better light in looking at it, right? So number one, get some fresh air. We are not saying that you cannot look, and get some sunlight or get some air. That is surely possible. It's just that you don't get into contact with people. All right, so try to get some sunlight helps you to feel better, both physically and also psychologically, especially the morning sunlight. So get some sunlight, it'll give you a boost, and psychologically it'll tell you that there is still ray of hope. All right, and number two, make sure you set some goals. What you're going to do, because cabin fever gets bad when you feel trapped, right? And if you are claustrophobic, you are afraid of small spaces, and also you don't know what to do. So make sure you have some goals. Okay, today I want to finish this book, today I want to finish this journal, today I want to finish this assignment. You pre-plan all your assignments, or set goals, so that your mind doesn't wander. It doesn't go off. I always imagine the mind like, this those movies. You have the bad branches going and catching people and stuff like that. So your mind wanders that way, so don't let it wander. So when you have the goals, your mind stays in one place. So make sure you set a lot of goals, and throughout the MCO you fulfill this goals. So it'll keep you occupied, and you won't think so much up to elevating your cabin fever, right? And also, you can still look out of the window. There are people who are so afraid that they close up everything and stay inside. No, you can still look out of the window, look at the passing cars, look at how's things outside. This will give you a better space to breathe, and ease you a little bit, right? And make sure you keep your mind very engaged. Crosswords, puzzles, some activities. Try to create WhatsApp groups, and share riddles and stuff like that. Because when you don't keep your mind engaged, you tend to, negativity tends to seep in. When negativity tends to seep in, you start to feel hopelessness, you start to feel doubtful. Like I told you, so this is where, like we were talking in the beginning, you might already go to acceptance, then you relapse back again. You're frustrated, why you have to do this. So keep your mind very much engaged. Do a lot of things, draft new ideas and stuff like that. All right. And we are not basically cut off connections. It's just that we can still communicate with people. So get connected with people virtually, WhatsApp, Facebook. I don't need to tell you guys know better. What are the platforms that you can share. So go on all platforms, and get connected, talk to people, discuss things, and keep it positive. If you really feel down, you want to talk to someone, get professional help and talk to someone. You just tell them that I don't want any answers, I don't want any solutions, I just want someone to listen to me, right? That can be done. We do that in counseling. So yeah, just connect and just speak out after you feel good about it, and then you start to ask for opinions. So do those kind of things. And yeah, exercise is very important for cabin fever. Make sure you do some workouts. So when you exercise, you release some toxins out, you'll feel more refreshed. So yeah, you can work out. So find it, let's not lock our minds that, to work out I have to go to the gym. No, you can do other things. You can do some plankings, you can do some, whatever it is able to be used in your hostel. You can use it to work out, but stay safe. Though the last but not least one is definitely, please stay positive. Cabin fever can happen, but you can snap out of it. You with the proper methods, you can snap out of it. So stay positive. Don't feel like bogged down. Negativity and all this hopelessness feeling will make you bogged down even more and more and more, until the level that you can't wake up again. That's where you go into depression. So keep yourself positive. Don't go into the negativity. All right, so these are a few methods that you can do to deal with your cabin fever. But if things are triggering you too much, you feel panic, you feel breathlessness, make sure you get help. It doesn't mean that you cannot move anywhere. You should get help, right? So contact, think that, yeah, MCO will be over, things will get, I mean, it's nothing wrong to think like that, isn't it? Right? MCO will be over, things will get better. I will go out, I'll still have some fresh air, things will get better. It's not a fake belief, but it's something for you to move on. Yeah.
In my opinion, I think physically distancing will be more appropriate, since
True.
we can't be doing socially distancing. That means stopping people from connecting to each other.
I think why the word was social distancing is to give a better understanding of mass gathering, mass crowding. So we name it as social. And there's I even thought of this. It should be physical distancing, but we are looking at also the post effect. When you talk about physical distancing, it also brings in a higher level of negative connotation, whereby people will start to imagine, after MCO is over, we still need to have physical distancing. So imagine when you stand somewhere, people don't want to come near to you. They ask you to move away. And things could turn out to be, negative. It's like people could feel annoyed. People could feel bad about it. That's why, maybe, I think, I'm just guessing, maybe the term is social distancing, but what we are actually doing is physical distancing, as you said, Alice. But yeah, so that's why I said we still can, virtually connect with anyone via different platforms. So we are not out of connection, we are not out of communication. We can still communicate. It's just that physical distancing, don't go near. That's all only. Yeah. Now we are starting to think about that. We are thinking about post pandemic. That means after this thing is over, there are other worries, whereby we might have social anxiety, people very very afraid of going out. There could also be, people don't want to interact in the office. Students may, you're going to lecture and then somebody beside you sneezes. What is the effect? You'll start to have that fear, right? And you start to imagine, you wake up and walk away. So how would that person feel? So these are post MCO effects that we are looking at. So after this, there could be either irrational fears. You're afraid of people. Imagine like two-person in the class sneezes and the lecturer say, okay, we can all go back, we don't have classes. So people start to misuse sneezing and stuff like that. So yeah, these are the things that we need to think about and look on a larger scale. Just to add on to the point. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll put it in two different answers. Let's talk about the young people first. How I look at young people is, I always look at young people like a bright burning bulb. So I got a bulb picture there. So yeah, these young people, they've got all, they are like this bright burning bulb, which they can make the place bright. They can shine bright. So they've got all this energy, positivity. They've got a very very bright mind. They've got creativity and all this. So with this situation right now, don't let your bulb go dim. All right, so sustain yourself, sustain all the energy that you have, sustain all the positivity you have, sustain your creativity, your character, your strength, all this. Still keep burning. What I'm trying to say is that, all right, it's just that now the bulb is in a different place that you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be in college, or in university, but the bulb is now at home. So never mind, make the home bright, so wherever you go, shine bright. Right? Don't lose, don't feel like I'm hopeless, I cannot go to class, I cannot meet my friends, I cannot do what I normally do, I'm gone. Don't feel that. Sustain it. All right, sustain all those energy, because once after MCO is over, we're going to need a lot of that energy to catch up with all the things that you have left out. So young people, please sustain, keep burning bright, sustain your energy. Now what you can do is you can divert it to other things, like for example, before this you are very good at basketball, you used to play in the campus area and stuff. So now uh, use some creativity, do something that you can do something similar, miniature basketball at home, and get your parents, your elderly family members to play along. So just transfer the energy, just keep that creativity going, keep that fun going. Let people say, oh, this guy, wherever he go, he makes the place bright, he makes people happy. So young people has got that capability, so keep that going. So nothing is your bulb is still fine. You're not broken. You are not malfunction, you still can function. It's just that times are bad, so keep yourself sustained. All right, so don't lose your character or your strength, for young people. And for people with psychological issues, I will not tell you, be positive and stuff like that, but what I can tell them is that you have to currently be very vigilant, very alert. You have to know what is your triggers and your symptoms, because you are in a secluded place, you are in your home or in campus. So you have to know if your situation or condition is getting worse. If that happens, you have to get help. If it's alarming, if you feel like your panic attacks is more frequent right now, and your hopelessness feeling is high right now, so make sure you get the right help. All right. And if it's possible, talk and inform about the illness or the issues that you have to someone that can offer help when you need it. For example, I have a friend who already go back home, and I am in hostel. So don't be ashamed, don't be afraid to tell this person that I have anxiety issue, I have what do you call, OCD or something like that. Pre-inform this person, I can get panic attacks and stuff like that. So in case anything happened to me, I tell you, I just WhatsApp you, A, so there is something wrong with me. So can you help me to get some help to the campus? So pre-inform a few friends. Don't stick with only one person. What if that one person don't see your message? So have some backup plans. Pre-inform people. If you don't hear from me for 2 days directly, that means something is wrong with me. Tell someone. Make sure, send someone to help me. So pre-inform this and have backup plans, right? And also, always, if your issues is severe, always try to have some company. Make sure you have some friend with you. If you don't have, make friends. If you're alone in the hostel, there's someone else in the hostel. Make friends, have some company, and make sure you have panic buttons. That means there's you got your counselor's number, you got the student affairs number, you got the auxiliary police number, or whoever, the security's number, somebody's number for you to contact at emergency situations, right? And embrace, I'm not saying practice, but embrace positivity. Always look at the bright side and have mindfulness. Live at the moment. Like I said, if you let your mind wander, then negativity may come in. So keep yourself busy, keep yourself occupied, keep yourself engaged, and all these things you do, make sure you have elements of positivity in it, right? So like what I put there, my quotes there, I've written this quote. This quote is in that book also. People may count the number of times that you fall, but I count the number of times that I rise up again. So this is embracing positivity. It doesn't matter in falling. Everyone falls. It's just that, hey, I'm proud that I wake up, compared to people who doesn't. So still, it's okay. It's okay. So remember that it's okay to be not okay. So I'm quite worried about people OCDs now, because you are in a closed area, and with your OCDs may trigger. So it's okay to talk to people, telling them you have these conditions, and so this will have a positive effect where people can help you if you need some help, you know. Just like the story, the woman who, if you've heard this story, that in a factory, meat factory, a woman, only one woman will always smile at the security, the rest, they will not smile at him. So one day this woman was trapped inside the freezer, and everybody went back.
Mm.
So she thought that she's going to die because nobody knows about it. But the security came and opened the freezer for her, and she said, "How do you know that I'm here?" Then the security says, "Simple. You're the only one who smile at me always, but today you didn't smile, so I know you didn't go back. So I came to check up on you." So that simple smile saved her life. So yeah, so that's it. Practice these kind of things. Make friends. So you never know, help can come from which way. So hang in there, hang in there. I know it might be difficult, but hang in there. Right? You can find me on Facebook, and yeah, you can contact me through Miss Alice. And yeah, also on my side, thank you so much to the SEGi Student Affairs for contacting me. I feel very much happy to do this sharing for our students. As I mentioned in the beginning, I really love working with young people, because working with them, you can tap their energy, and
Yeah.
be as youthful as them. So thank you so much for the opportunity, and to all the students, hang in there, guys. Soon things will be over and you can kick in your normal lifestyle again. For now, stay home, stay safe. Wish you all the best.